Capitol Hill, it was back to school yesterday as lawmakers returned from summer recess, but they went right back to the looming threat of a government shutdown. The deadline for a deal to fund the government is September 30th. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson's proposal to avert the shutdown is drawing pushback, not just from Democrats, but also from several members of his own party. We're joined now by NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitali for more on where things go from here, a place we've been many times, Ali. It seems like this inevitable path toward a stopgap bill to keep the government open past the election. What are the biggest hurdles Congress has now as the September 30th deadline approaches?
Yeah, look, new semester, but same clicks and same drama. It's all pretty predictable at this point, especially because we knew that when Speaker Johnson and other members of Republican leadership first put out their plan to avoid a government shutdown, we all really considered that the opening offer, but definitely not the one that was going to be taken. Now, we'll see by this afternoon when they're supposed to hold a vote on this bill if ultimately they are able to do so, or if they let it fail on the floor. That is an embarrassment to leadership, but it's certainly something that this Republican majority has sort of grown comfortable with as they really have things try and fail in full view of the public on the House floor. Again, not the normal way that things are done, especially not coming off of the Speaker Nancy Pelosi era, but here we are in a different time. Now, the question is, if Johnson does not have the votes from Republicans, which it does seem like he has a vote total problem, and we'll see if he's able to assuage anyone in their conference meeting this morning. But if he's able to do that, is it enough? But also, where are Democrats on this? Because there's two problems. The first is when they're trying to fund the government till, at least in a stopgap time. Typically, these end of the year shutdowns are averted by saying, okay, we'll handle this in November, maybe even December. It becomes a holiday problem. This year, what they're trying to do is push it to March. Many appropriators say that's too far. The other piece of this is they're trying to add the SAVE Act, which effectively prevents non-citizens from voting, which is already illegal. Democrats not on board for that, some Republicans not on board for that, and that's where the problems lie.
What did we hear from the floor as lawmakers debated this potential short-term funding bill from Speaker Johnson?
Well, we heard Senator Schumer come out immediately and forcefully saying this is not the way we're thinking of doing it in the Senate or as Democrats. Watch.
Speaker Johnson's slapdash continuing resolution isn't a serious effort to fund our government. If House Republicans were serious, they would sit down and craft a bill in a bipartisan fashion, consulting with me, the House Democratic leader, and the White House. And they would consult a bill that, in a bipartisan fashion, would actually achieve our common goal of funding the government.
Because, of course, the thing you have to remember here is the House is going to do what the House is going to do, as it always does, but then it goes over to the Senate, and they like to put their own imprimatur on things. They like to do things their own way, and a lot of senators have said they're not on board with the way that Johnson wants to do this right now. That spells problems all around.
The election is quickly approaching. A shutdown could close federal agencies, national parks, furlough millions of workers just before November 5th. I gotta feel like that's going to influence something here, right?
You would think, but there are some Republican lawmakers, albeit they are in safe red districts, who said they're okay with shutting down the government if it means upholding their view of fiscal values. Now, a lot of Republicans don't share that. Democrats don't share that. And I can tell you from covering these past government shutdowns, the only people who are hurt are Americans that aren't in the building okay with shutting down the government. So certainly that is going to be in the water, and why these September shutdown deadlines in election years are always so thorny. It's always a tough issue, but the election politics only makes it worse.
All right, Ali Vitali. Ali, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.